Alrighty, the time has come. Welcome everybody to the brand new and improved and highly motivated and extremely energetic Mara Mentality podcast. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this video. Hope you guys are doing well. It's the holiday season. It's also the end of 2025. You might be wondering, why are you watching this video? Why should you be watching this video? And why the hell should you even follow this page? There's a lot of podcasts out there. There's a lot of people talking about a lot of different stuff. Some of it's real, some of it's not. And some of it is just fake because they just want you to clickbait. This is not that type of podcast. I'm trying to bring real value to you guys. Some of the topics I'm going to be talking about are emotional recovery and self-reconstruction, developing multiple performance qualities at once, building and balancing physical demands in all-around capabilities, structuring training intelligently, and much more. Now, I want to make this very clear that this is not all about me. This is not about how much Kyle can run, how fast Kyle can run, how much and how fast Kyle can lift. It is not about that. It has nothing to do with that. This is strictly you coming onto here because you have either something going on in your life that you want to figure it out. You want to escape your reality just because, everybody likes to do that now and then. 3, you just love following me. You love the content. You trust me. The relationship is great. And you want more. Then there's the people that have a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of people that think they have confidence. But once they go out into the real world and are shut down just like that, they give up. And that's why I wanted to make this podcast, because I literally suffered that for like 21 years, and I just didn't know that. Now, there's a lot more to that. I wanted to make this podcast because there's a lot that I have struggled with just growing up. I'm 28, going to be turning 29 in the spring of this upcoming year. And I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about the way that I think from being past 25 compared to 20 years old to say 23 years old. I have moved multiple times. I've driven up and down the East Coast by myself multiple times. I've lived on my own multiple times, and I've also been through some extremely challenging financial situations, and I just wanted to take everything that I've been through, not just these last 6 years, but just all together. Because I know there's a lot of people that, obviously can relate, but there's a lot of people that I know that there's going to be things that I'm talking about that a lot of people are pretty much scared to talk about. That they don't want to sit in front of a camera and talk about because they feel like they're going to be judged. Their friend from 3 years ago is going to see this and be like, dude, why are you talking about this? No, this is real. This is raw. This is uncut, and this is supposed to be for just pure honesty. And I want to take my experience, my knowledge, and my confidence with all this stuff and just bring it to you guys so that way I can help you. Now, I just want to fully disclose that, again, I know there's a lot of podcasts out there. We live in a world where if you make content, you probably have a podcast. And if you're a fitness influencer or a fitness creator or something like that, chances are you make this type of content. But this is me. This is the type of content that I make. I have a background in digital cinematography. I went to Full Sail University with it. I went to Full Sail University and got it. So doing this type of stuff I've been doing it literally since freshman year of high school, and I'm going to continue to do it until the day that I die, whether I make money from this or not. I've gone so long now doing this without making a single penny, and that just proves to me that I'm passionate about this. So if you're passionate about shit out there and you're not making a dime and you've been doing it for years, I am just here to tell you that it's okay. Like, it does suck for sure, and especially if you've done all the steps to make money from this. But you know what, some things in the world that truly make you happy, you don't make any money from. But that's for a completely different topic in time. I'm going to be breaking this down into a few different sections because this is going to be like the first podcast of the year. It's a big episode. It's the first episode, and I want to reel you guys into me, into my life, into what is Kyle Mara from Tampa, Florida on the Mara Mentality podcast all about, and why do I view him every single week. Without any further ado, welcome to the Mara Mentality podcast. Now, I want to make this very clear that this is not all about me. This is not about how much Kyle can run, how fast Kyle can run, how much and how fast Kyle can lift. It is not about that. It has nothing to do with that. This is strictly you coming onto here because you have either something going on in your life that you want to figure it out. You want to escape your reality just because, everybody likes to do that now and then. 3, you just love following me. You love the content. You trust me. The relationship is great. And you want more. And then there's people that have a lot of self-doubt. There's a lot of people that think they have confidence. But once they go out into the real world and are shut down, just like that, they give up. That's why I wanted to make this podcast, because I literally suffered that for like 21 years, and I just didn't know that. Now, there's a lot more to that, but I wanted to make this podcast because there's a lot that I have struggled with just growing up. I'm 28, going to be turning 29 in the spring of this upcoming year. And I've learned a lot about myself. I've learned a lot about the way that I think from being past 25 compared to 20 years old to say 23 years old. I have moved multiple times. I've driven up and down the East Coast by myself multiple times. I've lived on my own multiple times, and I've also been through some extremely challenging financial situations, and I just wanted to take everything that I've been through, not just these last 6 years, but just all together, because I know there's a lot of people that obviously can relate. But there's a lot of people that I know that there's going to be things that I'm talking about that a lot of people are pretty much scared to talk about. That they don't want to sit in front of a camera and talk about because they feel like they're going to be judged. Their friend from 3 years ago is going to see this and be like, dude, why are you talking about this? No, this is real. This is raw. This is uncut, and this is supposed to be for just pure honesty. And I want to take my experience, my knowledge, and my confidence with all this stuff and just bring it to you guys so that way I can help you. Now, I just want to fully disclose that, again, I know there's a lot of podcasts out there. We live in a world where if you make content, you probably have a podcast. And if you're a fitness influencer or a fitness creator or something like that, chances are you make this type of content. But this is me. This is the type of content that I make. I have a background in digital cinematography. I went to Full Sail University with it. I went to Full Sail University and got it. So doing this type of stuff, I've been doing it literally since freshman year of high school. And I'm going to continue to do it until the day that I die, whether I make money from this or not. I've gone so long now doing this without making a single penny, and that just proves to me that I'm passionate about this. So if you're passionate about shit out there and you're not making a dime and you've been doing it for years, I am just here to tell you that it's okay. Like, it does suck for sure. And especially if you've done all the steps to make money from this. But you know what? Some things in the world that truly make you happy, you don't make any money from. But that's for a completely different topic in time. Trying to talk about emotional recovery and self-reconstruction, developing multiple performance qualities at once, building and balancing physical demands and all-around capabilities, structuring training intelligently. Before I go into this podcast more, I'm going to be breaking this down into a few different sections because this is going to be like the first podcast of the year. It's a big episode. It's the first episode, and I want to reel you guys into me, into my life, into what is Kyle Mara from Tampa, Florida on the Mara Mentality podcast all about, and why do I view him every single week. Without any further ado, welcome to the Mara Mentality podcast. So in my intro, I talked about it a little bit, but my background is I am 28 years old. I'm originally from Central Mass. I moved down to Florida back in the summer of 2015. Lived down here for about, so I'd say 2 years, but really I moved back up north in 2016. Did that for 4 years. Was chasing basically a relationship that was non-existent. It was existent in my head, but it wasn't existent in reality, and I learned a lot from that. Ended up getting multiple apartments with different people, specifically one of my best friends. The last apartment we had, financially I got caught in a pretty bad situation, and admittedly I pretty much put myself in that situation, but I never got out of it, which ended up literally forcing me to drive myself all the way down to Tampa, Florida, where my parents live. This was also a very dark time for me because this was during my first real relationship, so I basically had to just get up and go. And anyone that's done that in their own life, it's very challenging. So I've also tried long distance and it doesn't work. If you can make it happen, phenomenal. But my experience, absolutely not. So I moved back down here in 2019. That's actually when I ended up graduating from Full Sail University with a bachelor's, we're not going to get technical, but we're going to get technical for a second. A bachelor's degree of science in digital cinematography. I'm not trying to say that to make myself sound good. I'm just saying I have a degree in film. Long story short. And it's because I absolutely love it. Die Hard is my favorite movie. Bruce Willis is my favorite actor. Graduating Full Sail University. Movie that I was in / worked on by John Kilmer under my belt. Working on multiple freelance projects with my best friend and just grinding it out, kicking ass with film, music, and creativity of media production. Come down to Florida. That's when I'm like, I gotta start really just, full on diving into film because I love film. I gotta figure out basically what I want to do and how to make money off of it because I've never I'm out of college now, there is no structure. I got to make my own structure. So, decided to dive into full-on fitness content. I got into fitness because of a heartbreak. The person basically just chose a better looking dude than me. Nothing more to it. I would literally, at first, I would go to the gym and I wouldn't even use pre-workout. I would literally just like look at these pictures of like I didn't have them saved on my phone. I'd just be like, okay, you wanna get hyped, you wanna get angry to like go in the gym and like lift some iron and shit. All right, look at a picture you know is gonna piss you off, and boom. And unfortunately, that's what I did. Super toxic. I don't recommend that to anybody. That's not the way to do it or go about it. But I was young and dumb, man. So that's what I did. Had some killer workouts. Ended up being the initiation to me actually seeing results in the gym that motivated me to be even more disciplined to go back in the gym and stay in the gym to transform my body. So I just wanted to give a quick shout out because I've never really talked about this, but Zach Stoffer, I believe he's from Pennsylvania. I'm probably wrong on that. But I just want to give a shout out to Zach. Zach and I connected when I first moved down to college. You know, being from a small town in Mass, it was just a very big step for me. So when I met this kid, he was into football, into sports, and he was working out. And his energy was just awesome. We vibed together. So I just wanted to give him a shout out for really giving me the initiation in the gym, because I never really had guidance. Like at home, I had like my dad had like this big like workout at home gym basically in our garage, but I never used it. So watching how Zach was just motivated and disciplined to go to the gym and everything, I didn't know it in the time, but it literally impacted me for the rest of my life. So I just want to give a quick shout out to him. So I've graduated. I'm into fitness. I've been working out since 2016, you know, running anywhere between 3 to 5 miles in about 30 minutes, doing a bunch of strength and conditioning, and just doing a lot of military style training. Why military style training? Because that is what the person that I wanted was was doing. This person was in the army, so I was like, alright, if I want to look this way, obviously, like, they're in the army, so I'm going to do some army training. And I just honestly quickly fell in love with military style training. It's exactly the type of stuff that I love to do. I didn't know that it was actually like hybrid training, because you have cardio and you have strength and conditioning, and most people just do one or the other. I mean, old school way, you're either bodybuilding or you're doing cardio, and that's because most people were taught that the moment you start running, you're losing muscle. And the way that fitness in honestly today's world and this generation is, people are learning you can do both, and that is exactly my niche, if you shall. That didn't even make sense, but anyway, that's my niche. So yeah, now 2019 to present day, what is going on and why? It's springtime 2019 in Florida. Don't have any friends down here. Literally moved down here to focus on getting out of debt and trying to figure out what is my next step. So this obviously requires two things: motivation and discipline. It's a very common theme in life, right? So I had to be like, what do I really want to do? Well, I looked at it as what got me into film, watching Vitaly, ZDTV, watching Roman Atwood, watching a lot of the pranksters, watching Bradley Martin, watching Alex Eubank, watching Christian Guzman, watching Nick Bear, watching all of these creators and brands from high school until now that I'm older really shaped my vision to be like, this is really what I want. And I'm so blessed and thankful for that, because there's a lot of people that go through their life not knowing what they want to do. You know, there's a lot of pressure in high school to be like, okay, you're gonna go to college, and when you go to college, this is what you're gonna study, and there's just so much to life that like there's just sometimes you just can't follow a game plan because the game plan just gets a little messed up, and sometimes when you're in the middle of studying what you're studying, you find out you just don't like it. You don't have a passion for it. You don't have fuel that keeps you going. And yeah, so I'm just super happy that I found what I believe is what I'm meant to do at a young age. And I don't necessarily mean film. I really mean fitness. And I just happen to be good with film, or think that I'm good with film and editing. So I wanted to take both of those things and, you know, go fucking full in and ham with it. So that's exactly what I did. I took my channel and I basically started making all of these lifestyle videos. If you don't know who How to Beast is, or if you do know How to Beast is, I tailored a lot of my videos style towards him, or that type of style. And basically in this time, there were two people on YouTube that I was trying to make videos like. It was How to Beast and it was Aaron Marino. And obviously those are two different types, but it's interesting because they were actually both, like, I'm pretty sure Dave from How to Beast was referencing a lot of Aaron's videos, so it was kind of cool how they were all in sync. And then Nick Bear down the road is how I I found Nick Bear through Austin Alexander, because Austin Alexander did a day in the life of a Navy person, basically. I forget exactly what it was, but that video, I was like, okay, hooked on this. And from there, because Nick was in the Army, it came up in the related section, and it was basically a day in the life of a business entrepreneur, like fitness. It was something that I was just so intrigued with, and it changed my life, and it made me hooked on Nick Bear. But to get back what I was saying, I knew what I wanted to film, and I knew how to do it, and I knew that I didn't have any distractions that was gonna stop me. It was literally up to me. You want to go out and do this, but you got to make it happen. And the thing about it is, I was petrified, like literally terrified to film myself in public. Like, I would literally go through Faneuil Hall in Boston with a GoPro, just holding it like this, to get the fear of public filming, just forcing it out of my body, because I was like, if you want this, you need to get out of your comfort zone. So what better way than to use a mini action camera that has no zoom or anything like that, and make the most out of a vlog. So to have this camera and do this stuff is just, it's very simple, and it's a great it's something that humbles me, because I know how much fear of just, oh my god, are they judging me? I used to run that through my head all the time. I still do, but nowadays I just love what I do. I just love making content so much that, like, when people look at me making it, I just want them to join in. So that's what I started doing. I start making videos like How to Beast and just like Aaron Marino. And I would go out to the city of Tampa, and I would go out to Clearwater, get the scenic shots of the beach, downtown, start talking about my lifestyle stuff. And then when I was home, I would get in front of the camera and just do some coming at you stuff like Aaron Marino does. And that was great, because I ended up landing some pretty cool ambassador program stuff. Like, I was with Manscaped for a little bit, BPN, Bucked Up. It brought me a lot of brand opportunities, which was cool, but the downside is that I didn't have any type of following. So anyone that came across me, even though I'd be like, yo, I got this code if you want to save money, because if someone would tell me, hey, save some money, use my code, I won't even care if I was a fan of them or not. I want to save money, but shockingly, nobody really used the code. So why I bring that up? Brought your boy's confidence down a lot. And again, it wasn't because, oh, does anybody like me and stuff like that. I mean, it kind of was like that, but it was more like, what am I doing wrong? And a lot of the times, you're not doing anything wrong. It's just you're not talking to the right people. You think you're talking to the right people, but you're really not talking to the right people. So that's when I started to basically transition the next couple years with process of elimination. What works? What doesn't work? Are we making long form lifestyle content videos, or are we making short form, coming at you in your face, high energy type videos? Now, a lot of people like that type of stuff, and a lot of people don't like that type of stuff. And I've been criticized both ways by older people, by younger people. I've gotten it all. And I think that is really where the confusion gets into place, because it's like, well, I know who I'm targeting. And yeah, it's just interesting to see people's perspective on it. That's what I did from 2019 to about 2023. I was working on that type of content. I was just going absolutely ham with it, all while still doing my fitness stuff. It got to the point where I was like, okay, I'm watching Nick Bear. I'm watching how he documents his fitness, and I'm just seeing how that process works. I'm also watching like Austin Alexander and How to Beast. I'm watching all of these very intense fitness, motivative, energetic entrepreneur type people, right? And they all have their little styles. I mean, How to Beast is coming out with two videos, two very high quality videos every single week, and seeing how he goes from, himself to basically a team. Same with Austin, same with Nick. Just watching all these people grow. So, 3 years of doing what I thought was a great game plan, being able to monetize my YouTube channel very fast, and honestly being able to grow my social media platforms fast. Within the first 3 years, all of those things were really taking off. And then all of a sudden, it just kind of stopped. And I don't know what that is. I think it might have just been because I stopped, like, literally promoting. Obviously, when you put money into things, you get different results. But when you're just doing free self-promo consistently, it's really hit or miss. You gotta really target who you want to target, and that's just what I've been doing for really the last 2 years. And I feel like it's worked, but what I've learned more about the last 2 years is I want to be more vulnerable. I want to talk more about like why I do what I do, and not necessarily like, hey, I just ran, 7 to 10 miles in this time. That's not what this is about. All about helping you. Now, I knew this, but I really enjoy truly helping people find and discover what their full potential is. Whether that be in the gym or just outside the gym, it doesn't matter. But part of this episode is I want to talk about how I optimized my performance the last 5 years, because I feel like it's very important. It's important because it's just, I don't know, in my opinion, it's different. It's what worked for me. I know that everyone has their own way of doing it. This is literally just worked for me. But the last 5 years, I've had different types of training styles. I've also had different meals to help with the nutrition. And I also wanted to go over just how I kept myself motivated and disciplined just through this time. Because I gotta be honest with you, the last 6 years have been very, very lonely. Granted, that's mostly my decision. Some of it is, some of it isn't. But if you're not, if you don't choose to stay disciplined, none of this stuff happens. And that's just facts. So, the different types of, the different styles of training the last 5 years that I've done. I started again with strength and condition, cardio plus strength and conditioning. More specifically, I would try to run about 3 miles in between 15 to 20 minutes or less. That's basically what the military style training requirement was, and then I would wait about 15 minutes after that, and then I would go into about an hour and a half, sometimes even 2 hours strength and conditioning, like basically like a lifting session. So like Monday, chest, bicep, tricep, abs. Tuesday, back, shoulders. Monday, chest, biceps, abs. Tuesday, back, shoulder, tricep, abs. Wednesday's pretty much a leg day and core. Thursday, you have back at it with back, shoulders, like traps, triceps. And then Friday, you have chest, biceps, abs, and legs. Basically, that type of combination. I mean, you can kind of adjust some of that stuff, but that's basically what I was doing. And I would only take, like, I don't know, a day off. And that would typically be Sunday, but honestly, from 2016 up until really now, I haven't taken a long break. I'd say the longest break I'd taken was like a few months, and that was honestly just because of COVID. So I've been pretty on point with it. But yeah, so I started with that type of military style training, and then once COVID actually hit, that's when a lot of the strength went down. I was not in the gym. It forced me to basically work out at home, figure it out, like a lot of us did, really. And so this was the time really where I was finding out who Nick Bear was. And if you know who Nick Bear is, you would know that he does a lot, and I mean a lot of running. And running's just something that I just used to do. It was never for fun. It was more of like, hey, you play sports growing up, so like you're gonna be running because that's what's required. Played soccer a lot growing up, so this definitely helped. But went from a lot of strength and conditioning with like 3 to 5 miles, the occasional 7 miles, but this was the time. COVID was the time where my cardio really, really increased. And I'm not going to lie, I lost a lot of overall mass, like muscle mass, just because I was doing a lot of running. And that's why it's important to have a good balance, especially if you're worried about keeping and sustaining muscle when your training program doesn't necessarily call for a lot of strength exercise and more of cardio. So that's what happened for me, and I ended up basically loving running. I mean, you have to understand, when I first started this, I was literally running just because I was trying to like basically shape my core, trying to get some abs, looking at this ugly ass body that I didn't like in the mirror, knowing that like there was some other dude that like there was, yeah. So I was like, gotta change it, and I really once I found that runner's high, I think that's really when it all changed. More specifically, it more specifically changed when I found out G1M Sport from Nick Bear's BPN. That's literally what changed my entire outlook on all type of training, and we'll dive into that in another episode fully, because that could literally be its own episode. But that's what I did for 5 years, and I continue to do that. It's literally just been strength and conditioning plus running. And my why, I had two whys. Started off with a heartbreak, like I said, and then it's just transitioned into this is what I want in life. This is what I'm chasing in life. And it was never part of the plan, but it's something that impacted me so much to where I've seen too many positive things come from it to get away from it. So the next thing I want to talk about with it is different meals for nutrition. So for myself, I'm a very picky eater. I'm also someone that doesn't eat a lot. So that means you gotta need to be specific, kind of need to be a little boring, and a lot of it is very repetitive. So lots of ground beef, lots of jasmine rice, lots of brown rice, lots of white meat, lots of pork. And the reason I say those specific things is because and steak. So ground beef has always kept me pretty lean. I've noticed that red meat for like steak, meaning very high in energy, more specifically, not necessarily keeping me lean, but just very high in energy. Pork with brown rice, I've noticed very fast for bulking. Like we're not even talking about having like a protein shake with it. We're just talking about straight up like 30 minutes after the gym, you come home, put in one of those like little brown bags of brown rice and just cook up like some pork. Like boom, great meal. So rice and meat, corn as well, lots and lots of water, lots of electrolytes as well. Very little soda. I mean, I would have soda here and there, but I just wanted to emphasize that it's not like I was like, oh my god, strict diet, only have to have these foods, can only have this amount of foods, can't. I also wasn't like, oh my god, it's after this time, can't have food. No. I also learned something very important: moderation. In order to continue to stay motivated and disciplined with what you're training, you have to enjoy it. You have to, and part of enjoying that is watching and learning what works and what doesn't for you. So there's going to be times where there's things that work for you, and those are going to be the highest of highs. And then there's going to be things that are the complete opposite. It's going to be the lowest of lows, and you're going to be super confused and try to figure out what's going on. And it sometimes sends you into a straight up panic mode. I've been in that situation, but I can tell you right now, these are the things that have worked for me nutrition wise. Anyone that's into fitness will tell you, or should tell you, that nutrition is a lot more important than the weight room. They are both as equally as important, but if you don't get the proper nutrition into your body, like the real proper nutrition, then yeah, your workout and anything that you do in an active way, it's just not going to feel the same. So just wanted to emphasize that really quick. And then I just wanted to say like how I kept myself motivated and disciplined. Over the last 6 years, there has been a lot of times in the gym where I'm just looking at myself in the mirror and I get teary-eyed. I'll get emotional. Sometimes not looking in the mirror, but it's these times of self-reflection, either thinking about how far I've come, what I've overcome in life, where I am in life, whether it be physically, financially, emotionally, spiritually, it doesn't really matter. I've been able to stay motivated because I know that I just know what I want in life, and that is enough to motivate me. I also know that there's other people that are they count on me every single day. They might not see me every day. They might not talk to me. I might not play any type of like day-to-day impact, but at the same time, I might. It's literally all about showing up. It's about showing up when you don't want to. especially like I live in Florida, so like right now it's winter. Obviously, it doesn't get nearly as cold as certain places in the world, but it does get cold sometimes. And those are the times where you still gotta train, you still gotta get your shit done, and it, it's a test. It's one of those things where it's like, are you gonna do this or not? And there's been more times throughout the last 5 years where I have done what I said I was gonna do in not the greatest conditions. There's been times where I have, you know, the next day I was like, okay, I'm gonna go for like that night. So like on Tuesday, right? Tuesday I'm gonna go for a run. Monday night I'm like, all right, I know I'm gonna go for a run, but then Tuesday, body wakes up not feeling the greatest, or like right before the run you feel like you need to shit, then you just can't shit or something like that, and like something happens. It's just not a perfect world, and you gotta make it happen. You gotta work around it, and I just know that every single time I have pushed through whatever the obstacle was, I feel that much more confident. I feel like I can literally conquer anything. And it doesn't just have to do with running. It's the same thing with lifting. And it's literally the same thing with life. When you continue to do the thing that you know is going to improve you, and the conditions just suck or are against you, that's the real growth. That is truly the real growth, and there's nothing that can ever take that feeling away from you. I also want to say that what's kept me motivated and disciplined is failing. And that might come as a surprise to a lot of people. Now, I say that because I've had all these different ideas, and more specifically meaning like to create the YouTube channel, monetize it, make videos and earn money, basically to earn money off of social media, make a living off of that, basically be a full-time content creator. And over the last 5 years, that just hasn't happened for me. It's been a very, very, very frustrating path, because when you're a content creator, you have to bank on people liking you, liking your content, and basically they feel a certain type of way, aka like special and stuff, when they watch your videos. And I just feel like I just haven't hit the right audience. I feel like I've had, select people from this wide audience that I'm trying to reach. But I've also realized doing all this stuff that I've had to filter more of the negative, more of the I thought this was the type of person I was targeting, but it's really not. And again, it's a whole learning curve, but that's life. You learn, and like I said in some part of this podcast episode, that I'm going to be doing this whether or not I make money from it or not. I just love it. I love making content. I'm passionate about it. And when you say that and you understand that, that means fuck the haters. It doesn't matter what they think, because at the end of the day, everybody's always going to have their own opinion. The only one that matters is two. One, my own, and two, what my true loyal fans think and what they're getting. So, with all of this being said, I just want to say welcome. Welcome to the podcast where I'm just going to be talking about my life, my fitness journey, my experiences, what's worked and what hasn't. I'm going to give you guys a lot of training, knowledge, advice, testimonials. I'm also going to be sharing with you guys just my own type of mental toughness that I feel like has worked, not just for me, but stuff that I've recommended for people, family, friends, and it's really played a big impact on. I'm going to be releasing episodes every week. My main goal is to like basically do is to record an episode like after I'm done like a workout or a run, so that way I can like really be in that moment and just reflect, because those are by far, to me at least, like it's not even the most impactful, but I feel like it's more beneficial because I don't know, I just feel like I'm a lot more alert and a lot more just like in the zone. Yeah, I'm a lot more in the zone. And so right there is where I can deliver 100% like full on knowledge that I know you guys are definitely going to take with you when you're not watching this, and it's going to impact not just you, but it's going to impact your family, the people around you, all for the better good. And I just cannot wait to share that with you guys and have you guys be along for this journey. So I hope you guys like the new logo. This thing's freaking badass. Hope you love the new intro. Hope you're about to love the outro. But I just wanted to say thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch this podcast. I'm really trying to level up every single time. This podcast is available on all platforms: Spotify, Amazon Music, like literally wherever you get your podcast. All right, it's on there. Follow me across all social platforms. I'm not on X. It's the only one. I've never been a fan of Twitter. I know everyone's on Twitter, on X, whatever. I'm not on there. I also don't have Snapchat, and the reason is because I've literally only had like one person snapping me all the time, and I was like, I just need to delete this app because it ended up taking a lot of storage off my phone. So I'm across all social media platforms. You can reach out to me on any of them. Send me a DM, comment. It doesn't matter. I know there's a lot of people that have social fear, social anxiety when it comes to reaching out, whether they just want to say hi or they're actually going through stuff. So if you are someone that's in that category, please feel free to send me a DM. Like you can send me something like super random just to be an icebreaker. You know, look, you have to understand, I'm a corny dude. I'm awkward, but like I'm socially awkward. And I love to laugh though, and I just love to meet new people. So the last thing I'll leave you with is this: my ultimate goal for this whole thing is to open up my own gym. I want to open up this world-class gym. I know that's a very big goal. It's an extremely ambitious thing, but I know it's possible. I know everyone starts off somewhere, and I just know that this crazy ideas and visions in my head, they're going to come to life, and the more I share them with you guys, the more just real, authentic, and just the more myself and honest I am with you, the more of a reality that's going to be. So thank you guys so much for watching the Mara Mentality Podcast. This is episode 1 of 2026. Hopefully you guys had an amazing 2025. My 2025 started off very, very rocky. It's been an extremely emotional, gut-wrenching year for me. Hope it hasn't been for you, but if it has, 2026 is going to be amazing for you, just like hopefully it is for me. We're going to make it happen. Thank you guys so much for watching this. Like this. If you didn't get to watch this video, it's going to be available basically in audio form on Spotify and anywhere you get your podcast. So whether you want to see me or you just want to hear my lovely sexy voice, you can. Thank you guys so much. Give the podcast a follow, give it a like. Please comment your favorite part of this episode. I know we were kind of all over the place, but I had a lot I wanted to get in this episode. So thank you guys so much. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Happy everything across the damn board. Hope you guys get your gifts that you want. Hope you also gift people what you wanted. Hope you guys stay safe, healthy, and all of those fun things. I'm talking too much at this point. Signing off. Peace. And have absolutely no freaking limits in your life. Love you all. KM Aura. Okay, that was terrible. Mara Mentality.